to the November 6, 2018 meeting of the Saline County Board of Commissioners. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Shadwick.
Here.
Commissioner Sparks.
Here.
Commissioner Vidrickson.
Here.
Commissioner Weiss.
Here.
Commissioner White.
Here.
I ask that you please stand, join me in a flag salute, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We now move to the public forum where citizens may speak on county government, usually limited to 3 minutes, and pertaining to items that are not on today's agenda. If anyone wishes to speak, please come forward.
Norman, Salina. I don't see anything here on this sheet. You gonna tell people what Sunday is? You don't know?
Norm, I didn't hear you. What is?
Sunday,
Sunday.
the 11th.
Oh, okay.
It's Veterans Day.
Why
and we
don't you
appreciate
announce
all
it?
the veterans.
We know that, but this is not a question and answer period. You may speak
But
on it if you wish.
that's what I'm asking you. Why don't you announce it?
And thank you for your comments. Anyone else wish to speak? We'll move on to regular business.
He's getting up. He's getting up.
Thomas Duggar, 626 South 3rd, Salina, Kansas. I'm going to put a proposal to you guys. I'm going to donate 120 acres east of Salina for a park, county park, that will have a picnic area, limited day use, camping, tent only. It'll be off Marymount Road to the east, 2 to 4 miles on the south side. I will buy it and donate it to the county. And I'll do the initial design of the park and then present it to you guys. And you guys can then take it from there and go with it.
Thank you. That's a very generous offer. Obviously, we'll have to go through our proper channels with the county council and probably the planning and zoning people, but that's an intriguing idea, and we appreciate your offer. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll let you know next meeting exactly where the plot I'm going to plan on buying, and then you can decide whether that's appropriate or you can move it around.
Wow.
Very good.
All right. Thank you for
It's
your...
up to you. I'll be using my money out of my charitable trust.
Well, obviously, we're bound by certain rules, regulations from the state statutes, but we'll do everything we can to make it work.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you for
I'll
your...
propose a spot, and then you can do whatever you want, and it may not be until next year before I have the funds to buy the property.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
very nice. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Does anyone else wish to speak? Seeing no one, I'll bring it back to the commission for regular business. Item number 1.
Approve agenda for public forum as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the agenda for the public forum as presented.
Second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve today's agenda for the public forum. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 2.
Approval of county commission minutes for October 23rd, 2018.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the county commission minutes of October 23rd, 2018 as presented.
Second the motion.
Moved and seconded that we accept the county commission minutes of October 23rd, 2018. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 3.
Approval of county commission minutes for October 30th, 2018.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the county commission minutes of October 30th, 2018 as presented.
Second the motion.
Been moved and seconded that we accept the county commission minutes of October 30th, 2018 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We now move to item number 4.
Register of Deeds report. Rebecca Seaman, Register of Deeds.
Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
At the end of October, I sent you guys a report, so I'm just going to hit the highlights and welcome any questions you might have. This is just for the third quarter, so it'd be like July, August, and September. And this would be the revenue that goes into the county general, so that's why it's excluding the tech funds and heritage trust. So we had $145,264 during those months for recording fees and services that we do, like copies, anything like that. And I put in parentheses at $35,068 is a mortgage reg because, as you know, our fees, this is the last year for the fees increase, so it'll be the same for next year, and the mortgage reg will completely go away in 2019. So that's why I put that there. That will not be there in 2019. The total indebtedness of mortgages is $70 million, a little over that, for the third quarter only. $204 million so far this year. We keep track of our revenues. We compare the identical data to 2014 just for our own curiosity to see where we stand from when all the fees started changing, when they started decreasing mortgage reg and increasing recording fees. And so far, we're at a loss of $188,400 at this time with those identical recordings. We've had 2,000 documents total, 504 mortgages, 634 deeds, 871 other, a total of 75 pages. The reason I keep track of pages is because when we archive, our fees are based on how much data that we archive, either both in the digital world, the microfilm world, the paper world. So that's why I keep track of that. And another thing is that's how we collect our fees as well. So in our other area that we do for passports, we had 239 new passport applications. We take a lot of calls on renewals and people just needing help with those. For a total of $83.65 revenue for this quarter. 1,500 copies, faxes, and emails. That's been reduced quite a bit because we do have the iDoc market where people can go. If they want to just spend an hour on there, it just costs them $5, and then there's a fee to print. There's also a fee to view. The numbers that I have there, I don't know where those come from, because when I was looking this morning, it was a lot different. It was not 1,300 views or 1,400 prints. So we did an update, so I need to figure out what happened there. But we realistically had more like 500 prints. So that's traffic that we can, that doesn't have to come through the phone or through our office, that they can go online and look for themselves if they want to.
Now, your report says 13,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I say,
That's inaccurate.
It is.
And so
yeah.
it's more like 1,400, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, more like 500 prints. And I
okay.
don't know what happened to the views because it's like totally zero today. So I need to make a phone call and see what happened with the update. The iDoc revenue is what we get from the website, and that was 332. So a lot of those, the county gets 60%. They get 40%. I don't handle any of the money. Nothing goes through me. It all goes directly through Tyler Technology. And that percentage is different with our local abstractors. So then moving on to tech funds, our receipts was 1,150.
15,000?
15,000, thank you. And clerk and treasurer each is 7,575 total. And the same for the Heritage Trust Fund. That goes to the state.
Okay, on your, the mortgage registration fee that's going to be gone in 2019, maybe you've said it or somewhere and I don't see it, but how much revenue loss will that be to your department total?
If you figure in the increased recording fees, we're probably looking at about 350, 400,000 compared to 2014.
And that'll be money that the county loses
Right.
from our income. It won't affect your office from your budget as far as that goes, but it will affect the general fund in the county.
Correct.
Am I correct in stating that?
You are.
That's
And-
pretty
and-
substantial.
Yeah, it is. They gradually reduced it and increased the fees to keep everything really confusing. So that 35,000 that is this quarter is with the most reduced amount of .0005 this year.
Okay, are there further questions or comments for Rebecca?
Has there been any discussion or talk at the state level of reinstituting any of these fees and anything, or changing this back?
No.
Okay.
I think probably the most fair way that they could do is, they used to have a transfer tax on deeds, but I don't think anybody's got the gumption to ever even bring that up. So,
Well, that's not quite right. I've got the gumption, but I'm not sure I have the power to bring it up. But I would recommend to staff that with our upcoming legislative meeting that we're having with our legislators and so forth, that might be a topic of conversation to see where that can go, what possibly we could do to get even a portion of that reinstated would sure help. So put that on our agenda, if you would, please.
most states do have a transfer tax, and a lot of states have a transfer tax and a mortgage reg tax. So we are one of the few now entering into the no extra fees whatsoever collected as far as the revenue. I know there's chatter about predictable fees. We've looked at it. We're just having a hard time coming up with anything that seems fair for the person that just has 1 or 2 pages, and not counting pages. It's just everything that we've brought to the table with all the land records people, and nothing really seems to help. We end up losing more than we did already. So I don't know where that's going to go.
Is this information that potentially can be accomplished through the internet or through your system that they can print off on their own or not?
What's that?
I thought you were talking about copies.
No.
A deed? Is that what we're asking?
I guess maybe what I'm
well,
asking, go ahead.
Back to the iDoc market, yes, they can print those off
Okay,
on the internet. Yes, they can do their own research.
all right.
And then, do you have any more questions on the report?
Well, I would just like a comment, and I agree with you, probably nobody has the gumptions to increase taxes in this environment that we have right now, but user fees make sense to me. I mean, if somebody uses your office, I don't see that as a tax. That's just it's a fee.
Right.
And I think if we could get it across that at some point that, this isn't a tax to the general public, this is a fee for people using your office, then it makes sense, I think. But you're right. Probably nobody has the gumption besides our chairman to do that, so.
Well, and I told Rita what that's as far as my gumption goes, I think.
There you go.
And
So-
really, a lot of those dollars come from out of state,
Okay, that's a good point,
the
too.
mortgages. They're big companies, it's New York, it's your big companies. It's not Saline, Kansas.
Right, good. That's a good point, too.
All right. Any further comments, questions? If not, Rebecca, thank you for your report. We appreciate it, and we'll move on. Item number 5.
RFA number 202-18, transfer of monies. Rebecca Seaman, Register of Deeds.
And Rebecca, you have the floor again.
All right. Well, we have a Land Records Technology Fund, and we have the Register of Deeds Technology Fund. I, at any time, can, if I have at least 50,000 in my account, I can give the money to the Land Records Technology Fund, which is what you guys have oversee. And I guess am I supposed to read this before I go on?
You need to read it or do the high points.
Okay.
highlights of-
Well, the request for action is to transfer $35,000 from Register of Deeds Technology Fund 414-244-847-010 to the Land Records Technology Fund 413-244-847-0.010. I would anticipate that you would accept this money. The current balance at the end of October 2018 in the Register of Deeds Technology Fund is near $174,000. As per KSA 28-115G and Resolution 04-1850, it is the wish of staff to contribute $35,000 to the Land Records Technology Fund to be administered by the County Commission with recommendations of expenditure to be reviewed by the Land Records Committee for new request. KSA 28-115G states that the County Commission may authorize the transference of such excess monies by other county offices for equipment or technological services relating to the land or property records filed or maintained by the county. Budget impact, the minimum required to remain in the Register of Deeds Technology Fund is $50,000. About $373,300 has been put into the Land Records Technology Fund since 2004. Most of these funds have gone into GIS, planning and zoning departments. Currently, there's a balance of $42,864 in the Land Records Technology Fund. And recently, there was a lot of what this money has gone towards, you probably remember, is the GIS, the flyover. And there's another $28,808, I think, coming out in spring. So I would like to put in $35,000. That is about 75% of what I've collected this year in technology funds, so.
Okay, are there questions or comments for Rebecca?
Thank you.
Hearing none, I'll ask public comment. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for possible action on this RFA.
Well, the no-brainer motion of the year. Mr. Chairman, I move we transfer $35,000 from the Deeds Technology Fund to the Land Records Technology Fund.
And I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve RFA 202-18, the transfer of monies, $35,000 from the Deeds Technology Fund to the Land Records Technology Fund. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 6. Thank you, Rebecca, by the way. Thank you for your
Good to
report.
see you.
Comments.
Thanks.
Item number 6.
RFA 196-18, Resolution 18-2260, Community Corrections Advisory Board Member Appointments. Annie Grievous, Community Corrections Director.
Good morning, Annie.
Good morning. Thanks for inviting me. I didn't know this was an invite, but thanks. Smile.
Go ahead.
Little smile. Okay. Here to seek approval for you all to appoint 5 members. Some are reappointments and some are new to our advisory board. Charles Altduel, Kevin Carrico, and Millie Moy are being reappointed. Everyone can serve 2 two-year terms, so this will be their second 2-year term. And then we've got Pamela Sullivan and George Troutfetter to be appointed as new members for a 2-year term. And as I said, all appointed members are given the option to have an additional 2-year term. So currently, the membership would expire on June 30th of 2020, but we would then offer that additional 2 years, so it'd be July 1st, 2022. Do I read the resolution?
I don't think we really need to do that. I'm clear on what we're
Okay.
trying to accomplish here.
Okay. So we're just seeking approval to get those members appointed and start serving at our next board meeting.
Are there questions or comments for Annie? I would trust your judgment. It's your
Thank you.
commission that you're looking for, your staff members, your board, and I know a few of these people. I don't know them all, but I know a few of them, and I'm assuming that they all have a vested interest in this to serve, and that would get my recommendation. So at this time, I will look for a motion from the board and the commission.
Mr. Chairman, I move we adopt Resolution 18-2260, appointing members to the 28th Judicial District Community Corrections Advisory Board as listed.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve RFA 196-18 for Community Corrections Advisory Board member appointments. Rita, I don't think we have to read the names off that are on the RFA. Do we publicly need to read those names, or?
I think she mentioned them.
I did, but I'm happy.
But in our
to-
motion, I mean.
Yeah. Well, it might be good.
Okay, and those names are Charles Alt Duell, Kevin Carrico, Millie Moy, Pamela Sullivan, George Troutfitter to serve on the Community Corrections Advisory Board. The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We will move on to.
Oh, wait, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I just want to announce that we're having an open house, November 15th, 4 to 6. We welcome all the public. We are sending out flyers and special invites out right now. Those should be out today, and to the city and the county and those in the courthouse, but also to other vendors and people in the community. But you don't have to be participating with us directly. We'd welcome anyone to come and tour the facility. We will have light finger foods and cookies made by the best cook in the city of Salina. So I welcome anyone to come.
All right, the public is welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you bringing that up. We'll move on to item number 7.
RFA 199-18, UMR Administrative Service Agreement. Marilyn Leamer, Human Resources Director.
Good morning, Marilyn.
Good morning, Commissioners. This request is requesting approval for the UMR Administrative Services Agreement, or the ASA, for the October 1, 18 to September 30th, 19 plan year. It also rates the caps for the following 2 plan years. UMR is our claims administrator for our partially self-insured plan and dental plans. The ASA covers fees for services such as medical, dental, and prescription claims processing, COBRA administration, ID cards, network access fees, transplant solution services, care management, case management, maternal care management, disease management, nurse line, subrogation services, and some reporting services. Subsequent rates will not automatically increase. This just provides a rate cap. There was no change to the rates for the current plan year. The alternatives for action is to approve the Administrative Services Agreement for 10/1/18 to 9/30/19 plan year, or reject the agreement. Staff recommendation is to approve the agreement.
Questions or comments for Marilyn?
I think the obvious question is, if we decline to do this, it started 10/1. So we'd have to go look for somebody else, is that it, or?
Correct.
And you're happy with this group?
I
mean,
am
so-
happy with UMR, their services.
Okay.
Any other comments? Is there any public comment on this RFA? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for possible action.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the Administrative Services Agreement for 10/1/18 to 9/30/19 plan year as recommended by staff.
Second that.
Been moved and seconded that we approve RFA 199-18 UMR Administrative Service Agreement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 8.
RFA 200-18, UMR Amendment to Plan. Marilyn Leamer, Human Resources Director.
Hello again, Marilyn.
Hello again. This request is to amend our health plan as indicated in the attached amendment number 3. All items are standard UMR revisions and required by the Affordable Care Act, HIPAA, Mental Health Parity Act, and other federal regulations. There are no adverse effects for employees. These revisions either enhance benefits or they eliminate some requirements or restrictions that were previously on there. We get these from time to time just for clarification of mandates that do happen. The alternatives for action is to approve the amendment to comply with the federal regulations or delay approving the amendment for further clarification, but these are, again, federal regulations that we are required to follow. Staff recommendation is to approve the amendment.
Okay, questions or comments for Marilyn on this one? Hearing none. Are there any public comments? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for action.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the amendment to the UMR plan as recommended by staff.
Second?
Been moved and seconded that we approve RFA 200-18 UMR amendment to the plan. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on to item number 9.
RFA number 201-18, HCC Stop Loss Coverage Renewal. Marilyn Leamer, Human Resources Director.
You're active today, Marilyn.
Yes. This request is to approve the HCC stop-loss coverage renewal. Previous renewal proposal was approved by the county commission, and this is now the official renewal document and acceptance of that previous proposal. Alternatives for action is to approve the renewal, delay any for further information, or reject the renewal. Staff recommendation is to approve the renewal.
Questions, comments from the commission? Seeing none, I'll ask if there's any public comment. Seeing none there, we'll bring it back to the commission for action.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the HCC stop-loss coverage renewal as recommended by staff.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve RFA 201-18, the HCC stop loss coverage renewal. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Mr.
Motion
Chairman,
carries.
while we're still in session and she's here, I just have a quick question. Is this the time of the year that we work with UMR on things, or is this just what we're doing now? Like,
This is kind of closing up everything for our most recent renewal, but
Okay.
this is the time that we start having discussions if you want to have changes. We do have an insurance consultant there. The company is called CBiz, and they work for us. They go out and do all the footwork for us. So if we have a desire to make changes to the plan in some way, either changing the benefits.
and that's appropriate for the commission to look at and just say, why is our coverage not covering this, or that sort of thing?
Right, if you want, if you want additional coverage, of course, it's gonna.
More money
Gonna
and-
cost.
right.
But there are ways to shift around benefits so that sometimes it does balance out. So if you take away something, you can add something.
And the time to do that is coming up, so
Right.
it's not today, it's not,
Yeah.
okay.
That's kind of some footwork you'll want to have done before the commissioners start into your budget process, because that is an expense.
Oh, absolutely, sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair, I'm sorry.
All right. Is there any other business to come before the commission? I will state that today's session, while it is not being taped live by the Community Access due to equipment failure, it will be aired at the times that it is reproduced. So that will be happening. I also want to state that it's a little bit concerning to me that the Saline Journal chooses not to cover our meeting today. So he isn't back there, I don't think. So, at any rate, we're doing our best to be public, but we don't get covered, we don't get covered. So, any other announcements? Before we adjourn, I want to say that we will be going into meeting number 2 on the study session in the adjoining room. And again, at 1 o'clock, we will be back in session upstairs in room 219 for a strategic planning session that the public is welcome to attend. So, that having been said, I will take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and second that we adjourn. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.